Hello friends, this is Dr. Ravi Saini. Our today's discussion is about anemia. So basically anemia it is defined as a deficiency of hemoglobin in the blood which can be caused by either decreased red cell count or decreased hemoglobin. So basically deficiency of hemoglobin is called anemia. That deficiency could be resultant due to direct decrease in the hemoglobin or it might be possible that the number of RBC is decreased which will indirectly lead to the decreased hemoglobin content. Now, the common causes of anemia are inadequate supply of nutrients, especially deficiency of iron, vitamin B12, folic acid, and intrinsic factor, which is responsible for the absorption of vitamin B12. Now, come to the aplasia of bone marrow. Aplasia means there is a lack of functioning of bone marrow. So, due to improper functioning of bone marrow, that will lead to uh, less production of RBCs, which finally will result into the uh, decreased hemoglobin content, finally lead to anemia. Anemia could be associated with various chronic diseases. Anemia due to renal failure, anemia due to various inherited disease, especially thalassemia, sickle cell anemia, or anemia could be resulted due to loss of blood. These are the various common causes of anemia. Now come to the morphological classification. The first one is the microcytic hypochromic anemia. These two terms are very important. Microcytic means the size of cell is less or reduced. Hypochromic means chroma means color. So here we are talking about the hemoglobin which provides color to blood. So hypochromic means that hemoglobin content is reduced. So this MCV, mean corpuscular volume, mean corpuscular hemoglobin, and mean corpuscular hemoglobin concentration. So these parameters are representing cell size or the color. So in case of microcytic, the size of the cell will be reduced, and hypochromic means that concentration of hemoglobin will also be reduced. Such subnormal red cells indices correspond to the microcytosis and hypochromia of red cells. Examples are common examples are iron deficiency anemia and thalassemia. Sorry. Now come to the normocytic and normochromic anemia. In both the terms, there is normo means the color and the size both are in normal. MCV, MCH, and MCC are within normal range. So, what will be the causing factor for anemia? The number of RBC will be less. This will finally responsible for anemia. Macrocytic normochromic anemia. The cell size is increased because there is a term macro. The normochromic means the color is normal, means hemoglobin concentration is normal. That will also lead to development of anemia due to RBC count is less. Examples are megaloblastic anemia, which occurs due to deficiency of vitamin B12 or folic acid. Now come to the iron deficiency anemia. This is the commonest form of anemia in the developing countries. It usually occurs due to deficiency of iron in the diet. Increased physiological demand, especially in pregnancy, lactating mothers, growing children, there is an increased physiological demand of iron. So, in these groups, extra iron should be available in the diet, otherwise, it will lead to iron deficiency anemia. Some pathological conditions like bleeding, peptic ulcer, piles, worm infections or infestations, epistaxis, and hemoptysis. Hemoptysis, these are also pathological conditions which will lead to iron deficiency anemia. Now come to the megaloblastic anemia. It is a form of anemia that happens when your bone marrow produces abnormally large blood cells. Megalo. This term is representing large red blood cells. It's a vitamin B12 or vitamin B9, which is folate deficiency anemia. Deficiency of vitamin B12, folic acid, and intensity can lead to slow reproduction of erythroblasts in the bone marrow. As a result, the red cells grow too large with odd shapes and are called megaloblast. Various causes of vitamin B12 deficiency are: the first one is the pernicious anemia. It is an autoimmune disorder which affects vitamin B12 absorption. Gastrectomy. This surgery removes part of your stomach which may affect vitamin B12 absorption. Zollinger-Ellison syndrome. This rare condition keeps body vitamin B12. It is a condition in which one or more tumors grow in the pancreas or small intestine. These tumors are called gastrinomas, which produces large amount of hormone called gastrin. This gastrin causes stomach to produce too much acid, which leads to peptic ulcer, and finally that will lead to anemia. So this syndrome prevents absorption of vitamin B12. Blind loop syndrome. Blind loop syndrome happens when food that is digested moving through intestine causing bacteria overgrowth that uses of vitamin B12, which finally results in deficiency of vitamin B12. The pancreatic insufficiency means pancreas are affected due to their ability is reduced for making digestive enzymes to break down food, which finally results in deficiency of vitamin B12 or vitamin B9. So these are the various factors responsible for vitamin B12 deficiency. First, we read about the iron deficiency anemia, then the megaloblastic anemia. These are the various causes for vitamin B12 deficiency. Due to this vitamin B12 deficiency leads to megaloblastic anemia. Now come to the third type of anemia, which is pernicious anemia. Basically, it is a type of megaloblastic anemia that occurs due to deficiency of vitamin B12, but it occurs due to autoimmune conditions when immune system produces antibodies that attack cells in the mucosal lining of our stomach, which affects body's ability to absorb vitamin B12. As we know, in megaloblastic anemia, the absorption capacity of vitamin B12 is is reduced. But in pernicious anemia, it is an autoimmune condition which produces antibodies that attacks these mucosal lining of stomach, which affects the vitamin B12 absorbing capacity and leads to development of pernicious anemia. The antibodies also blocks intrinsic factors which helps in absorption of vitamin B12. The commonest complication with untreated pernicious anemia is the impairment of neurological functions because vitamin B12 is needed for development of neurons. Most usual signs and symptoms of this condition include tingling sensation, numbness in hands and feet, malaise, fatigue, and bright red smooth tongue. These are some signs and symptoms in pernicious anemia. Now come to the treatment portion. As it is occurring due to deficiency of vitamin B12, so high dose of vitamin B12 is required. These doses could be given orally or intramuscular. Blood loss anemia. After rapid hemorrhage or chronic blood loss, a person frequently cannot absorb enough iron from the intestine to form hemoglobin as rapidly as it is lost. Red cells are then produced that are much smaller and normal, have too little hemoglobin inside them, giving rise to microcytic hypochromic anemia. Size is reduced or the color is reduced due to less hemoglobin. Microcytic hypochromic anemia. It is hemolytic anemia. Different abnormalities of red blood cells, which are acquired through heredity, make the cells fragile, so they rupture easily when they go through the capillaries. Some of these types of anemias are hereditary spherocytosis, sickle cell anemia, erythroblastosis fetalis. These come into the category of hemolytic anemia.